Hey guys, this is Julian from the Binary Lab, and in this video I'm going to talk about like decisions. So I found a new spot in my neighborhood that's like really nice and tranquil, so I'm going to kind of like, step over this hedge right here and talk about this topic, okay? So, decisions. Um, Last week, as you guys know, if you've been following me on social media, that I've actually been in Phuket in the hilltops on a retreat with many fellow business owners and entrepreneurs, basically to kind of like recharge and rediscover inspirations and like to kind of and get some breakthroughs, personal breakthroughs to kind of push forward um, in what I do, which is like I teach binary options and forex, and also run a couple of managed systems as well. So um, decisions. Okay, how is that like a relevant topic? It's very relevant because the program was from 14 to 18 of August, and that's basically, if you count the dates, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, that's like 5 days. When I looked at the information for the mastermind, it was a check-in before 10 a.m. on the 14th, and the checkout was before 12 on the 18th. So I kind of had the impression when I signed up that it was going to be a 4-day event. My wife pointed out to me that actually no, it was five. I'm one of those people that I'm not, I don't really pay attention to a lot of detail, and I tend to just stuff up. Okay, so you guys also know that every Sunday I have my typical like family day, which starts out with like taking going for tennis, where I get my weekly workout fix while my kids learn at the same time on a different tennis court, and then we come back and do ramen day, which is like the routine for the last month plus that I got obsessed with making the perfect river prawn ramen with my own recipe. But I wasn't able to do that because this week I almost wasn't able to do that because I discovered that um, you know the if the event was going to be over on a Sunday and the checkout was 12, and then the safest time that I could book a flight was going to be at 3:20 p.m. And then when I discovered that Mark, he was basically off with he also has like basically the program, and it was going to end at 9 on a Saturday, and he was going to go head off somewhere else. And basically, the only reason why checkout was 12 the next day was because just to facilitate members having their own gathering, or drinks or whatever after that. And on the other hand, I was feeling very homesick. Okay, miss everyone at home, kids, wife, pets, and of course, the routine on what we do on every Sunday. Uh, then I just spontaneously made a decision as soon as I knew that. um, I'll just like I thought, of course, it was a great place in the hilltops. I could have possibly made a lot more videos in that setting, but the desire to make videos and the desire to do hill sprints on that crazy steep hill. If you saw the previous video when I was talking about uphill and downhill, right? That was not quite enough to want me to stay there another night and possibly miss out a good part of a day with my family. Because if I came back on the flight that I purchased was a 3:20 flight, I'll be back home probably by the time I get home it's gonna be like 6. So I probably miss out a whole day that I could spend with my kids, and the thought didn't sit very well with me. So as soon as I found out about that, I just went in to see if I could change my ticket. No, I couldn't change my ticket within 48 hours. So I went into TripAdvisor and saw um, what other flight times were available, and I almost looked at the wrong day until I realized it later. Um, so I saw that there were some available flights at like onwards of 10 p.m., and I thought the most realistic one would be to get an 11:30 flight. So which I did, okay, which I did get to do family day as planned, and yesterday was a brilliant day. Kids were thrilled when they woke up and saw me in the morning, because I got back pretty late. I got back like, by the time I got home it was like 2 in the morning. So but when I got out in the morning, like it was great to see the reactions of all the children. Um, and of course, my wife was like making an effort to stay up as well when she knew that I was back, and she was happy as well. So they went on as usual, and I think I definitely made the right decision to spontaneously decide, even if I couldn't change the ticket, let's just get out and let's just decide not to do these other videos in that setting, not to do the hill sprints, although that would be great. But I thought that this would be the the highest impact activity that I could do for myself and my family. Okay, so now the reason why, how is this related to decision? Okay, that's a decision made. And when we trade, we make decisions all the time. Like, do we stay in the trade? Do we sell the trade back? Like, for example, in IQ option, in high low, in OLIM trade, there's an option for you to do an early sell. When you find that a trade is not working out, we can actually do an early sell, and then we can get back part of the money that we put out for that trade. And if sometimes we're actually in profit, we can early sell to take that small profit if we feel that there's a possible danger that conditions in the market can change. So here's the thing, okay? Um, what really compelled me to make this decision to change, my return time so that I could spend time with my family? Um, when I realized, okay, in the beginning, I was prepared to be there till the very end, okay, if that was going to be the end. But when I realized that, the program was a little bit different than what I expected, um, then it's like I was constantly having images of of the Sunday routine, and they were being crossed out in my mind. Okay, so this kind of brings me to want to talk about a few things that we may experience when we're trading. That don't matter if it's binary or forex, but this is something that appears in our mind. Don't you ever feel sometimes that when you're in this trade and you have this, you went in for the because you felt okay, the signs were there and I thought this could be a good setup and everything, but after getting into the trade, sometimes you develop a different feeling that, oh crap, there is actually something that I forgot. I may sometimes, maybe it could be a 5 minute notification on my FX book. If you turn on notifications for my FX book, something appears here, or news event in 5 minutes. This is the consensus. All right, just waiting for the actual or something like that. And I thought, oh shit, there's a high key event happening in a few minutes, and that could potentially screw up this trade. And then you start to have ideas that if it's a forex, okay, maybe now you're like 20-30 pips positive, but you start playing your mind the possibility that this 30 pips positive could possibly be like a 50 pips negative against you within a few minutes, and you could get stopped out. Maybe now it's not really hitting your take profit. Maybe now it's not a one-to-one reward to risk yet even, but because of what you have in your mind, it just you're having these ideas that it may not make sense. So there's a decision that you got to make. Are you going to cash in the trade right now? Are you going to put a very tight stop loss? If you're binary trading, right now, if you're winning, you know that in 5 minutes, if the trade expires the way it should be, or sorry, the event is going to happen in 5 minutes, but your trade expires in 6 minutes from now. So in that last minute, you're considering there's a possibility that this trade could possibly, go in from the win that you're in right now to a loss. If you stay on to the end of this trade, your payout maybe going to be like 85% of what you put in. But right now, if you were to sell it early, you can only get 15%. You can only get 20%. Maybe maximum you can only get 30%. So are you going to take this 30% or the 15%? Maybe you've been caught in situations where you're already imagining that like what you think will be the ideal outcome is no longer a will have, but only like a good to have, and it may not even happen. Ever felt that way? And how many times were you right? Okay, so it doesn't matter if you are new to trading or you've been trading for some time, because I believe everyone watching this video, in your life you maybe experienced some kind of a situation where you've been planning for something, but you know, just toward the the execution of that plan, maybe some other external factor made you to think that it may not work out, and it's probably you should look at, taking a change of course, a contingency. Okay, and by just thinking of the contingency but not taking the action resulted in you missing out. Maybe it could be like a traffic jam situation. You got to like a junction where both directions would actually take you to the place that you want to go, but just that failure to make a decision to either go the original plan way or to take the other way, which may seem like a detour at first but may not be congested, but taking the other way, perhaps there was an accident on the road and caused like a very long tailback of traffic, causing you to be late at a presentation for work, for a family event. And when you turn up late, it's just going to be awkward, but unfortunately you had to face the music of not making the decision. Okay, so the whole point I'm trying to make here is that, like, for me to basically paint a couple of pictures, also share with you an experience. I would like you to take the next decision a lot more seriously. Okay, and decision sometimes has to be a very split second thing. So what can we learn about this? uh, Back to my example when I was talking about the flight and the rebooking. It was crucial that I decided to do this by a certain time, because I'm not sure about you, but where I come from and for the airline that I was booking with, um, you can only book a ticket, air travel ticket online X number of hours before. And if I couldn't come to a decision and I decided only later, well, did I still have other options? Yes, but unfortunately the other option would have been to buy one at the airport directly over the counter, because when they close the booking online, they will still accept counter bookings, but again, counter bookings need to be made X amount of time before the actual flight. So for example, 4 hours before the flight, they close the online for this airline. Okay, and then the counter booking maybe it's like 2.5 or 2 hours. I'm not really sure, but you guys kind of get what I'm saying. And then it's a good thing that I made the decision so I could actually get on the flight. But with trading, it's very, very similar, because in trading sometimes, right, do you ever realize that okay, maybe lead with there's a lot of time less in IQ option. We can sell the trade up to 15 seconds before. Olim trade, I think you can sell it until 5 seconds before. For high low, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was 30 seconds before. I'm not really sure. Okay, so maybe we have a lot of time left. We have 2 minutes left. Are we going to take this 30% profit? May not be what we want. Maybe we want 85%. Are we going to take this 30% now? Okay, or not? And then as time ticks away, suddenly the payout goes down. Now the payout is only going to be 0%, or maybe it's minus 10%. But 0 or minus 10, you're still able to get back 90% or 100% of your investment on that trade. Time is ticking away down to the last few seconds. Will you take this decision to pull out? If you do not, what happens is that you soon will see for yourself that your failure to make this decision resulted in this trade go from being able to at least get a break even back, or to just suffer a small loss on that capital for that trade, to totally losing it. And what if this trade was a trade that you banked on after a series of losses for that day? Or what if you saw this as a golden opportunity and you sticked a bit more on this one? What if you didn't have a good week? how would you mentally be after this mistake if you fail to make a decision now? Okay, so this is what I want to leave you with. I would like you to just think about what I've mentioned in this video. Listen to it twice if you need to listen to it again. But I just want to leave this as a very open-ended thing to underscore the importance of making decisions in trading. And I hope that the next time you make a trade, you can make the correct one when it's presented to you. Okay? So finally, as you guys know, I've been speaking about changes and additions to the Binary Lab Elite program. I would like you to go check out the video on the Facebook Live that I made and go and comment there. I think I've also re-uploaded it on YouTube. I'm not sure if I've turned it to a public video yet, but head over there. I'll put the links in the video description, and then just head over there and check it out. And for those of you who are not already learning with me in any of my programs, such as the Binary Lab Basics, the Martingale Mastered, or the Binary Lab Elite, and you want to be able to get further ahead in your trading, because you know by now that trading is not just about techniques and strategies, but also a lot about the mind, and you feel that I can help you in your mental preparation for you to become a better trader, then definitely look into the links beneath this video. And or if you're not sure about which program you can go for, you can actually speak to my admin on the Facebook page. But generally speaking, I'm just going to give you this advice, okay? If you want fast results, you definitely want to start with Martingale Mastered. But within 2 weeks of joining Martingale Mastered, I would also like you to know a little bit more about how the markets work, how the indicators work, and how you can make better decisions on when to deploy Martingale Mastered and when not to deploy it. So within 2 weeks of joining Martingale Mastered, which is really, really cheap to join, it actually doesn't cost you anything, it's just a broker deposit. I would like you to, start learning Binary Lab Basics, and after doing that, look at getting into Binary Lab Elite. So this is what I have planned for you, and I would like to see you in my community real soon. Good trading and stay safe. Make the right decisions.